Hi there, this is Xiao Xiao. For the following several minutes, I'm going to present the summary of the analysis on bank churning rate, which I did for Capital One. First, let's get to know the situation. Our client is Capital One, the American bank holding company, which is specializing in credit cards, loans, banking and saving products. Both the executives and the investors of this company will be interested in the result of this project, since they want to make good marketing decisions to bring them the best advantages, such as profit and market share. The result of this project will be reported first to the Vice President of Marketing. The main goal of this project is to find out how Capital One can determine the efforts that they should take in order to maintain their customers as well as to keep a lower churn rate. Our client's need is to figure out those factors that they should focus on in order to find the right customers to target, and some analysis tools will help us to find out those factors. Now let's frame some relevant questions for this project so that we will get a clue which directions we should go in order to achieve the goals. I came up with 3 questions. They are the following. First, to decrease the bank's churning rate, how many customers should the bank focus on to make them stay with the bank? Second, what kind of customers shows a higher than average likelihood to churn? Third, how to predict if a customer is more likely to churn than stay. So what does the result look like? Well, the marketing department of Capital One will get a report from me that tells how to predict customers' likelihood to churn, as well as what kind of customers the company needs to focus the marketing efforts on. For example, I might find out that interest rate is 70% likely to influence people's decisions whether or not to stay with the bank. If so, I would come up with the argument that Capital One should decide a reasonable interest rate in order to retain the customers as well as to lower the churn rate. In reality, my analysis had led me to conclude that Capital One's churn rate is 6.5%, which represents almost 16,000 customers. Customers who have very bad lifetime value, who are unmarried, who have an occupation of computers, who are of the type HMTLE or ORDRY, are more likely than average to churn. There is a logistic regression model which reveals how cash advance influences people's decisions to churn or to stay with the bank. Based on what I have found, I recommend Capital One take the following actions. First, focus its marketing efforts on those who are about to churn. Second, give special offers to the customers who are unmarried, who have an occupation of computers, who are of the type HMTLE or ORDRY. But note that Capital One can leave customers with bad lifetime value alone, since they are not that valuable to the company. Third, use the logistic regression model to predict if a customer will churn. Here is how I did the analysis. First, I did some descriptive analysis to understand the data better, as well as to find some useful insights about the data so that I would know what to do next. Following the first step, I did a factor analysis of the numeric variables to prepare for the next step. Then I built a logistic regression model. This chart shows a distribution of churn flag, which basically tells us how many customers are going to leave the bank and how many customers are still going to stay with the bank. The frequencies chart down below shows that the majority, around 93.5% of the customers, are still going to stay with the bank. However, what we need to focus on is the rest of 6.5% who are going to leave the bank. This distribution chart helped me to come up with the argument that the marketing efforts of Capital One should be focusing on the 6.5% of the customers who are going to leave. If Capital One can make those customers to stay, it can lower its churn rate. So how are we going to find out those customers for Capital One to focus its marketing efforts on? Remember the bank's average churn rate is 6.5%? Here's the thing. If we can find out any group that has a churn rate higher than 6.5% and target that group, we are able to bring down the overall churn rate of the bank. So I did a contingency analysis on churn flag and all the categorical variables. This table is a summary of my findings. Let's take a look at the table. Take the variable customer type as an instant. We can see from the table that the customer types of the value ORDRY has a churn rate of 7.47%. The index shows that this group is 15% more likely than the customer universe to churn. And in this group, there were around 13,000 customers. So this is the group that Capital One needs to focus its marketing efforts on. But take into account that although the group in which customers have very bad lifetime value are 70% more likely than the universe to churn. And in this group, it has more than 2,000 customers. We still need to ignore this group, since these customers are not so valuable to this company. So overall, I came up with the second argument that customers who have very bad lifetime value, who are unmarried, who have an occupation of computers, who are of the type HMTLE or ORDRY, are more likely than average to churn. But Capital One needs only to focus its marketing efforts on those who are unmarried, who have an occupation of computers, who are of the type HMTLE or ORDRY. The next question is there any regression model to help us to predict if a customer is going to churn or not? The answer is yes. Before building the logistical regression model, I did a factor analysis on the numerical variables first, because I wanted to see if there was any correlation between variables, and I didn't want my model to be confusing. So the result of the factor analysis that I did showed me that there were correlations between the numerical variables that I tested. And it also showed that it was possible for me to get rid of the correlation and to keep only the variable cash advances for the regression model. So here is the regression model that I built. It showed how cash advance can help us to predict if a customer is going to churn or to stay. And graph 4 shows the chi-square test of this model. It tells us that this model is stable and we can use it to predict. Again, based on the previous analysis that I did, here are the conclusion and recommendations for Capital One. First, the bank's churn rate is 6.5%, which represents almost 16,000 customers. If Capital One can make these customers to stay, the churn rate will decrease. Second, customers who have very bad lifetime value, who are unmarried, who have an occupation of computers, who are of the type HMTLE or ORDRY, are more likely than average to churn. However, Capital One doesn't need to try hard to make those who have a bad lifetime value to stay, since they are not so valuable to the company. Third, the logistic regression model can help us to predict if a customer will churn based on her or his cash advances. Thank you for listening.